So cops at West Valley Police Station in Devonshire have been telling me 5 years that we don't write the laws, we enforce them, and we have to do the Stanford prison experiment rationale. We have to do it. Someone's telling us to do it. We have to do it. Them violating the Constitution, which they're sworn to uphold, using laws that violate the Constitution, which is a violation of the Supremacy Clause in the Constitution that says any law created that opposes the Constitution is illegal. So they created these laws before 9/11. 9/11 was planned as a rationale to perpetrate on Arabs and Iranians, Middle Eastern people inside America by making Americans hate Arabs, right? It would make Americans hate Arabs and Middle Eastern people, the ones we were told were behind in those airplanes that crashed into the World Trade Center, right? That made Americans hate Iranians. So did the hostage crisis, Iran-Contra, right? Reagan, we thought it was for that purpose. World War II happened. They arranged the nations so that there would be conflict in the Middle East. The Holocaust was used as rationale to have the Zionists, the ones who want the homeland in Israel right next to Palestine, to create war. If you're going to go way back, Genesis, the forbidden fruit, the first two sons of Adam and Eve fighting each other, it's that family feud started Genesis. Who the sons of Adam and Eve? They had a fight, they had a dispute. George Julian's daughter told me, the World War II veteran who gave that house on Lassen to my mom, his daughter told me years ago, when I was still in high school in the 80s, that the conflict in the Middle East is rooted in the two brothers' conflict in Genesis, I believe, the very first book of Bible. They had a conflict, and then of course later Abraham had Isaac through Hagar because Sarah was as of yet infertile, and then the family feud. Sarah herself got jealous because Hagar was younger, and there's some the love triangle issues that arise over the younger girl was from Egypt. You see, so Ishmael went on. The descendants of Ishmael created Islam, which created conflict between, was created to make the Arabs and Christians kill each other off. It was created by the Jews. Muhammad was a rogue Jew. And then so the premise from the beginning, the intention for conflict the intention for conflict, and then the notion of scapegoating. Jesus was a scapegoat. Holocaust was a scapegoat. I'm a scapegoat. Middle Eastern people are a scapegoat because their covenant was different. Isaac has a covenant with God, the forefather of the Jewish people. And then later on, Jesus had a new covenant. Ishmael couldn't be part of the original covenant with Isaac because he was considered illegitimate. I'm considered illegitimate. I'm told by the cops who visit, you don't belong here. The dog park, Miriam Prizel told me, you don't belong here. You're dark and ugly. We don't want to. We want sunshine. You bringing in darkness with your reports of corruption, your lifestyle, your dirty lifestyle. I've kept all the sentiments expressed to me by the people at the dog park, especially that if the city council finds out about this, they would shut down the dog park. You don't care about the dog park. You bring in your dirty reports of corruption here. It was all planned before they created 9/11 for the purpose of performing a Holocaust on people who look like me. It was staged, framed. People who looked like me were framed for that insurance fraud to repair the asbestos in the World Trade Center buildings. It was too expensive to demolish them. You couldn't put explosives in them the traditional way because all the buildings around it. So they did it anyway, staging it as a terrorist attack by bin Laden. It was all staged. Those planes couldn't have brought down World Trade Center. Demolition explosives were planted in every floor with those steel columns that are over-designed intentionally to prevent such a catastrophe. So hard work was done to bring down those buildings, and then to make it look like the Arabs did it, to make people hate Arabs as they do hate me, and to all the attacks upon me to make me backed up in a corner, make me lose my job, identity theft, takes my dogs away, turn people in my life against me, because I'm primary beneficiary of Mom's 2 houses, one of which is the one George Georgian, her 40-year boyfriend, gave to her for $1. And then Anita's is a pawn. Anita, because she's my mom's granddaughter, manipulates Mom to do. And so that dog bite was staged also, to blame my dog Shirley, who was there protecting me from my mom, who comes into my private area, as she did when I was 12 years old, poking at the sore. As did Julie, bringing Mom and dropping her off in the alley over there. So when I'm getting a massage and I'm naked, Mom comes in through the garage and looks at me, so they've been looking at me through surveillance and staging these events to destroy me from the inside, day after day, 5 years. And the decision to do that was made 7 years ago and I have the recording with city council mediator, city mediator, Bruce Barsuk, who, when my mom was charged, taken to court for her false 911 calls the first time, that conversation with Bruce Barsuk was to convince the judge to dismiss the case. It's discussing mom moving in here to be away from the neighbors to stop the conflict. But that case is restricted, and when I'm at Devonshire to get the name of that judge to let him know what's going on, I'm told we'll have the supervisor explain it to you, and Sergeant Lafferty comes out there scolding me, saying, "You brought her in. You complain about the laws. Those laws were designed." And Justine Taylor, the friend of Mike Velarde, who hates people who look like me because he was a first responder in 9/11 retrieving bodies in Staten Island dumps. That's it in a nutshell. I want it on TV. I want the world to know. All the addresses in America that are special locations that have 911 calls daily for years, and the occupants are Middle Eastern, retrieve those records. Look at those. See who owns those houses now. Look at what happened. You'll see so many people who look like me being treated cruel methods that have been perpetrated on me. And if you were to put all those people in one area with a fence on it, it would not look too different from the Holocaust perpetrated on Jews or the genocide perpetrated on my ancestor, my grandmother, in 1915. I'm Zeke Matevosian.